Hey guys, what's going on? It's Don here from Novaspirit Tech and welcome back to the channel. And today we're going to be checking out the AceMagic S1. So let's get started. Now I do want to thank AceMagic for sending this over to me, and I've been interested in their mini PC lineup. So this is one of the things that I kind of love the appearance of, so I decided to check it out for myself. Now everything we talk about will be linked down in the description below, and you can get this for $199. Now I couldn't really make heads or tails of what to do with this box when I first received it. Now I do know it does have an N95 and it can run desktop like Windows 11 and Windows 10 perfectly fine. Like for desktops, it's great. Now they do have a front panel on this that actually gives you all the stats that you want: CPU usage, memory usage, CPU wattage, really cool information, and you can customize it by changing the wallpaper or hiding certain things that you don't need, and it can turn into a clock. So this is a really cool appearance wise for a desktop or a bookshelf. But my intentions for this were more of a home lab, and that's where I fell short. Now it does have two Ethernet ports in the back, both gigabit Ethernet, and you can turn this into a pretty nifty router like pfSense or OpenWRT, something like that that could actually utilize the dual ports in the back. But you do get restricted with not being able to use the front panel. Anything Linux, the front panel won't work. As far as the specs go, this is an N95. It does have a max boost clock of 3.4 gigahertz, and it only supports single channel DDR RAM. Maximum RAM is 16 gigabytes, and this does have a 1 terabyte NVMe. Now, if you open up the side panel, you can see everything is upgradable. You can swap out the RAM. So if you got the 8 gig or 4 gig or whatever, you want to max it out to 16, you can. You do have NVMe that's accessible, and you also have an extra NGFF slot for more storage if you need to. Now it does support Wi-Fi 6 and it also has Bluetooth 5.2. Now in the front, you only have this display and this LED in the front that does nothing but glow. On top, you have the power button, and then you have your USB ports up on top. And in the back, you have the dual gigabit and 2 HDMI ports out and a barrel connector. All in all, this is a very quiet machine. You could put it right next to you and you could barely hear it. It runs very low wattage, which is about 15 watts TDP, and it does what it's intended to do, which is a desktop. Aesthetic wise is what I fell in love with at first. It does look really cool, but unfortunately, since I can't use it in Linux, you are really stuck with Windows to use this software. Now here's another problem that I found. As I was running the Windows benchmarks and all this updates and all this other stuff, I ran into a little problem with a virus. The LED software that comes with is a virus. It says it's a backdoor virus, and I don't know if it's some sort of false positive or not, but in Windows Defender, that's what it comes up with. So that's a little concerning to run Windows, especially running their software for the LCD front panel and the LED strip. Now, as far as the benchmarks go, I did run Cinebench real quick on this, and it does perform similar to an i5 3rd generation, which is now pretty old standards by now. Now we're up to 14th generation right now. So yeah, this does run not as fast as you want, but for our desktop wise, it can run normal browsers, office stuff, your standard desktop usage. But anything that requires a little more GPU usage, you won't be able to get out of this. As far as the GPU benchmark, it's not overly bad, but you are able to play, I think, older games. Anything older than 2015, you should be able to play with this machine. Now again, I installed Linux on this. This is why the front panel is stuck on saying AceMagic. I cannot utilize the software to get the front panel to work. I tried multiple ways using Wine. I think the only thing I could use is a VM and run the Windows software. But then again, you won't be getting the proper hardware stats. So I just left it as is. Now just going over their website, they have a mini PC that has the same hardware as this, dual Ethernet, 3 HDMI ports, which is called the AceMagic T8, and the same CPU for $125. So for $199, I feel like this is a little bit overpriced even on their own market, on their own website. I mean, does the front panel LCD really cost $85 or $80 more to make and produce? Meanwhile, I could get a smaller mini PC than this right off their website. Personally, you can use this. This is actually much more powerful than a Raspberry Pi. You can use this for Dockers, light home lab work. Personally, if I was to do that, I would get the AceMagic T8. And really, if you turn this into a home lab, you automatically just lose the front panel unless you're running Windows, which is resource heavy, and then you don't want to run a home lab on a mini PC that's this weak with that much resources being utilized. So we're kind of at a standstill where, do I want to run this as a desktop? Do I want to run this as a home lab? And honestly, my opinions would have slightly changed if they changed the CPU probably to the N100, where it's 6 watts instead of 15 watts with the same performance and a better GPU. I mean, I think the N95 might be slightly faster than the 100, but you do get 24 compute cores instead of 16 compute cores for the GPU, so you'll be able to do a little bit more graphic intensive stuff and utilize the GPU a little bit more, maybe using Photoshop or something. Otherwise, let me know what you guys think. I'm really at a standstill of what to do with this mini PC. My intentions for it was to make it as a home lab, so I might still install Casa OS on here, or I might still install Proxmox and see how far I could take it, but with the 4 cores, it won't go too far. I am probably very limited to running just Dockers itself. Anyway, that is it for me. If you guys have any questions about this, hit me up down in the comments below. And if you guys are new to this channel, consider subscribing and also hit that bell notification icon so you know when the next video is going to be out. And I say in my nerd cave, hack till it hurts.